Okay, folks, we are live on StreamYard through LinkedIn and YouTube. This is Sean McLean. I'm here with Casey McLean. We're doing kind of a little bit of a hot test because one of the funniest things about LinkedIn Live is the only way you can test it is to do it live. Um, you'll hear a little bit of an echo there. So, those are some of the things we're testing and running through. We'll be doing a really kind of cool and exciting panel discussion on Thursday night. So, we wanted to make sure before we got our panelists in here, we'd done all the cool things. And I figured maybe we could make some use of this time, and so we're doing a series on conferences and conference tips and stuff. So Casey, thank you for coming in and making morning time to do this stuff with me. But I just thought I'd throw down 2 or 3 things on conferences that maybe I'm trying to dig out all the things from conferences, going to conferences to make the most of them that people don't think of. And so I'm looking for 2 questions. Either what's one thing that everybody told you about conferences that didn't work for you? Or what's one thing that nobody knows about going to a conference that no one thinks to tell you? Good ones?
Your audio went out.
And the only thing that's running out of this is I'm not getting sound from you.
Yeah, your audio went out for a few minutes.
Still not hearing you.
Okay.
And if you're checking on StreamYard, then probably the check for you would be it's funny. Okay, so we're gonna try it this way and see if we'll get sound on that channel.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can. What did you wind up doing to change that?
Nothing. Went to the settings and changed one thing, but
Interesting. So then part of what's I think going on that I have to also watch, and I remember doing these with Ben, we ran into that there was some LinkedIn will give us like a 4-second delay before it runs it. So if you have LinkedIn sound, you're definitely gonna get it going through. But if you don't have that, then the StreamYard may not be transmitting all
yeah, and
alright, so learning this.
your audio is coming in and out. Like I can hear you and then I can't hear you.
You're telling me that my audio is cutting out?
It's like in and out.
Alright, how about now? Oh, I got it figured. Alright, so problem figured and problem solved. Okay, how about now? Better?
Yes, now it seems better.
Alright. So and this was the problem we ran into before, and I wanted to make sure, and that's exactly why we're doing this.
Yay.
What happens is, if you're running the LinkedIn channel, then the LinkedIn puts it on an audio. So your first tendency is to mute the sound on your computer, which means that then StreamYard isn't hearing your sound either. But then if you're doing LinkedIn as well as StreamYard, then you get it from an echo. All right, I think I got it worked out. But then, so I'll go back to my first 2 questions. What are the things that you would tell people? Either of those 2 questions, right? What's something that everybody does tell you that didn't pan out for you in getting the most out of a conference? Or what's the thing that maybe no one thinks of when getting the most out of a conference?
I mean, everybody thinks about planning, right? You got to plan go in with a plan because going in with a plan is going to help you accomplish the things that you set out to accomplish when you went there. But then, attending the different networking sessions. And then I heard something from Matt, who you've done a couple of podcasts with, but he said something very interesting to schedule your downtime too, because
Hmm.
conferences can be overwhelming, especially with the whole coming out of COVID and working from home and working remote by yourself and then going to this conference with all these people and all this stuff is quite overwhelming. So planning some downtime for yourself is a good thing to do as well.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I loved that comment when we were going through that, and I think ever since Matt talked about it, I've been kind of thinking about that in my head. Okay, cool, and thanks. Well, what I'm gonna do is I think we have some of those pieces and parts worked out. I'm gonna do one other thing. And I would think we'll find interesting bits and pieces kind of coming through, but comments aren't feeding through on the chat right now, so we don't have anybody else's feedback. So as our 5-minute test and tips and tricks, one of the things that I just recently, well, you and I were talking about that I thought, ooh, got to be thinking about it, was the also just the practicals of the planning, right? Things to bring. We've had a couple people talk about, bring, even if you're bringing just like a meal bar in your backpack or something as you go through the sessions, it's a handy thing to have. Likewise, something to drink. But then that got us onto the conversation of, do you even bring a laptop to sessions? Especially if you're not doing anything to the sessions. So I don't know. How about you? Do you bring your laptop if you're going?
I typically pull out my phone and take notes on my phone.
Okay. That makes sense. If you could bring something smaller, especially if you're not doing lab work. If you're doing labs, then laptop probably makes sense to have. But if you can use a smaller device, then it's a little lighter and a little less drag all around, and one less thing to haul all over the place. Cool. All right. Well, thank you for doing this test with me. I'm going to end our broadcast, and we will jump to this and see what we get on the feed. And that'll make us that much more exciting for our panel on Thursday. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you.